Hi, my name's Carleen Wanakua and I'm from Onehunga High School, and I'm here to find out what it's like to be a case manager for the Department of Corrections.
Today, Case Manager Conan Manina will take Carleen inside the wire of Spring Hill Corrections Facility to understand what a case manager does.
What does a case manager actually do?
Well, in a nutshell, we motivate prisoners for rehabilitation and we set them up to return to the community. The best way to actually show you how is to do it. We're going to meet a prisoner for the first time and then develop an offender plan. Somebody looking to be a case manager, they should have qualities such as life experience. It's really important. That way you can kind of associate with prisoners in their lives and be able to establish rapport and some understanding. And that's a better way to get engagement from them, so you can motivate them and encourage them to make changes. My job is to try and understand what led you to offending in this manner, aggravated robbery, and how we're going to stop that from happening again.
I needed the money, eh? That was the thing, eh? Just needed the money to pay for the drugs.
So, what did you find out in that interview?
Well, we found out that James had a drug problem. He could benefit from a drug treatment unit rehabilitative program.
Having discovered detailed information about James, Conan and Carleen create his offender plan. During the prisoner's sentence, Conan works closely with many other people within corrections to make sure the plan is being followed. This communication between staff is important to reduce reoffending.
The offender plan involves James's sentence from beginning to end, and pretty much is the core of my job. It will include his rehabilitation and other things such as work, education, health, and so on.
Part of Conan's job as a case manager is to place prisoners into rehabilitative programs, like assigning James to a program that confronts his drug abuse.
So basically what prison is about is not just punishment, it's rehabilitation as well. So come on, let's go.
6 months ago, Conan assigned Stephen Ranui to a violence prevention program.
Steve, would you like to say something?
So it's time to see if Conan's decision to put Stephen in this program has paid off, to see if there has been any change in Stephen's behaviour.
And what I've learned from this program, I know it will keep me safe out in the community where the temptation will be far worse than where I am at the moment. Thank you.
But Stephen is being released from prison on Monday and brings up a serious issue with his release conditions.
The accommodation I had lined up is falling through and I have nowhere to go now.
And the good thing is he has already advised me of this, so I've started making inquiries earlier. I'll put some grease on it and I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Conan makes a few calls about Stephen's accommodation, but for now, there is no solution.
Get back to me as soon as you can, that'd be awesome. All right, thanks Miles, bye.
And in the meantime, Conan needs to review Dylan Phillips' offender plan. Dylan wants to move away from his criminal lifestyle by starting a carpentry course.
I don't want to be coming back to this place, and I think carpentry, you know, getting a job down in the workshops and learning some skills is good. It'll be a good way for me to sort of, you know, continue with the rehabilitation.
Okay, so those sound like all the right words. So I mean that's a good thing, but I'm just going to ask, are you still rolling with the gangs?
The hardcore ones, they've all come from a gang life. They've been involved in gangs all their lives. It's all they know. That is their family. So it's very difficult for them to separate themselves from gang members when they come into prison.
Well, like I said before, hanging around in the unit with the same people, doing the same things, it's pulls you, keeps you in those same circles, and being out of the unit, being in carpentry, getting learning skills like that, it would really sort of bring me away from that group of people, and it gives me the opportunity to work by myself and earn some skills. So, you know, when I do eventually get out of here, I don't have to get in with run with the same group again.
It's quite rewarding. You get an insight into people's lives, you get a different perspective certainly on some of the hardships people have had to come through.
Conan is convinced that Dylan's motivation to change his life is genuine. So he talks to carpentry instructor Andy Wood to see if Dylan's history of gang involvement will be a problem.
Most of the guys in here have actually got misconducts and they've sort of been not that flash in the past. And as far as him being a gang member with a few misconducts, that's powerful, of course. If he's motivated, that's half the job.
Yeah, I think he is.
So Conan has helped Dylan further down the path of rehabilitation, and Stephen Ranoi is about to be reintegrated back into society. Because of his upcoming release, Conan has organised a case conference with his psychologist, probation officer and other support networks to make sure the transition goes smoothly and is safe for the community.
The reason why we're here is to better set up Stephen for his release.
But first, Stephen needs to know the outcome of his accommodation issue.
We've got some good news, Stephen, and Miles from Salvation Army can give you a bit of information about what he can offer you for your release.
I'm from the Salvation Army in Epsom Lodge, which is in the heart of Auckland. It's a hostel for men and women who are needing support as they make their way back into the community. So you can come and stay with us for 12 and a half weeks, and after that we can work, and it can be extended if necessary while you strengthen yourself working back into the community and with family and other things that you need to do.
That would help me a lot.
So with accommodation sorted, it can be explained to Stephen what is expected of him upon release.
Stephen, one of the first things probably is in your mind is when you get out, I want to get a job as soon as I can. You know, get employment, get some money in your pocket. That does provide a strong sense of independence. I'm there to assist you, work together to move forward so that you don't reoffend.
Stephen has a history of violence, so he needs to use what he's learnt in his violence prevention program to avoid dangerous situations when on the outside.
Well, it's just mainly about Stephen trying to manage his emotions, making sure that he has some good whānau support around.
Biggest reward is I know I'm helping the community. Some would like to have those in prison set aside and forgotten about, but eventually everybody is released and everybody comes back into the community. So if we can support them to deter the old behaviours and make it hard for them to switch back, I'm happy I've done my job.
It's actually cool how Conan gets to help the prisoners and ultimately hopes to protect the community.
There are no specific entry requirements to become a case manager at corrections. Generally, the qualities and skills required to do this job are varied, so each application is looked at on a case-by-case basis. A certain level of life experience is required, as are strong relationship skills. Good computer and report writing skills are also desirable, and you must have had no criminal convictions in the last 10 years.